Tipping for sure. Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and all that stuff, it is once again time for the Wrestling Guild. It's Tuesday. And my name is Chris Mary Holtman, and with me I have Nick Anderson.
Boom.
Boom, Mr. Santa Claus himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're into December. How are you feeling? Are you getting into the Christmas spirits?
Yeah, well, hopefully, I want to see some snow, though. That's what I'm waiting for. But yeah, hopefully as we're getting closer to Christmas, we'll get some snow, get that Christmas feeling going.
Are you a white Christmas kind of guy?
White Christmas kind of guy?
What do you mean that that's what you like? I mean, it's not Christmas without snow.
Oh, yeah, exactly. If there's no snow on Christmas, I'm going to be pretty sad.
Oh.
That's what it's all about.
So that's what you want for Christmas? That's what you're asking?
Yeah, that's the only, that's one I just want, man. That's it. I'm not asking for anything else. I don't want Santa Claus to come. I just want some snow. Jeez.
Okay, so screw world peace, screw everything else, snow.
Just give us snow and that's it. We'll be happy.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about the final Impact of November, which is the 30th, which was kind of headlined by two things, the Knockouts Championship and by Alberto Patron versus Johnny Impact.
Yeah.
Yes. How did you like this show to start off with? What were your thoughts, your initial thoughts?
I mean, I don't know if you can compare it to the previous one, because the previous one was like a funny one, the Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
But I think this one is one of the best Impacts I've seen in a while.
Oh, yeah?
Because it had a lot of action here and there. And I didn't get that bored, at all. There weren't that many people talking, and it was just a lot of good matches and a lot of action in the matches. So yeah, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, actually, this kind of went back to the style of Impact that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. It's like if they keep this tempo, they keep this up, then we'll be sitting pretty. And obviously, Impact saw an increase in ratings this time. Mostly because going up, I think even a little bit higher than it had been before, but mainly because it was a Thanksgiving episode the week before, so it naturally will rise.
Yeah.
Well, we start off by they present the ladies, the lovely ladies vying for the Knockouts Championship, and they talk a little bit. They have a little bit of vignette of the Global Championship too. And they start off hot with the first three-way knockouts match. Laurel Van Ness versus Casey Spinelli versus Madison Rayne. And Casey Spinelli was the woman, we've seen her a little bit in the BCW. We've always kind of liked her work, remember?
Yeah.
And and Madison Rayne is a former knockouts champion, married to Josh Matthews. That's why he said that she'd made him breakfast once or twice.
Good information. That's what we want to know.
I was a little bit surprised to see Madison Rayne back. I mean, we saw her at, I think, the one night only knockouts special that we watched. A little because there were talks about her going to the WWE.
Oh, switching. All right. But I mean, hopefully.
Yeah, well, obviously they need more women, obviously, and something came out this week that might indicate that they are going to need more women. How did you like this three-way match?
I think it was special. That's how I would describe it. It was cool, shocking, and special. Royal Van Ness has been improving herself, like, I don't know what. I don't know how she got her craziness, and I don't know how to say this. Like, she actually wrestled, even though she looks like. I don't know how to describe it, but I think she wrestled really good, and I was really impressed. And it actually shows that she knows what's up. She knows what she's doing.
Well, as Chelsea Green, which is her real name, she's wrestled all over the world. I mean, and she's a good and very well accomplished wrestler, obviously. The thing is that I find the issue that I have with stuff like this is, like, you have Ali, and Ali has been put into a certain role where she's supposed to be the sweet and innocent girl who can wrestle, and then she starts training as a wrestler, and then all of a sudden she improves to the fact that she's up to the level that she's actually at, Ali, as Cherry Bomb, has been a very accomplished wrestler and was a very good wrestler, which we've seen if we've watched Smash Wrestling, for instance. But so it's the same here. Like, Laurel Van Ness is a good wrestler, but and then she plays crazy, but then they put her in wrestling matches, and then she kind of has to go back to being the great wrestler. So, I mean,
it kind of destroys the character.
It kind of a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I understand how you're thinking.
But it was a good match. Laurel Van Ness wins by hitting her finisher on Casey Spinelli. I would not mind seeing Casey Spinelli back. I think she did really well. She's she's strong. You can tell she's a strong wrestler. She's kind of like on the Sienna level almost.
Yeah, I agree.
So that was that. So she's going on to the finals. So we'll see who, and we'll find out next week who goes to the finals from the other group, which consists of Rosemary, Ali, and Sienna.
That's going to be interesting. I don't know. Sienna, is she going to let people win now because she's pissed off? Rosemary, is she going to go for the miss? God knows.
I'm thinking we're going to see either Rosemary or Ali face Laurel Van Ness. I think that would be the best, probably.
It would be an interesting match, so yeah.
Then we see Alberto El Patron and Johnny Impact arrive. We get a recap from 2 weeks earlier when there was a mishap between Ishimori and Caleb Conley and Trevor Lee, costing them the match in the trios match. And then we have the singles debut of Hakim Zane versus Ishimori.
Yeah.
How did you like this match?
So the thing is, Ishimori, in my eyes, has always been good. I don't know. It's just, he is good. And that's always how I see him. And just like in this match, he performed well. He did what he's supposed to do. He does what he does, and he does it really well. I mean, and I don't think Hakim Zane really has a chance. I mean, it's not that Hakim Zane is bad in any way, but when you put him against Ishimori, he just looks shit. I'm maybe too harsh, but I don't know. I
think
like Ishimori.
You might be a little harsh, but this was obviously a way to, first of all, introduce Hakim Zane, put him with a good worker like Ishimori, making him look good. What I would have liked to see, I think, a little bit more from Ishimori, or from Hakim Zane, was seeing a little bit more wrestling moves. I mean, there's a lot of strikes, there's a lot of kicks and stuff like that, but nothing really spectacular that allows me to say oh, this guy, he's awesome. The other guys that we've seen, the ones that were in the Global Forged, some of them we'd actually seen. I mean, you and I had seen them on Smash Wrestling, so we'd seen what they could do. But here's a guy who comes in, basically, for me at least, fairly with new eyes. But I was going to give a suggestion, actually, for homework for the both of us. If you go into the Global Wrestling Network and look at one of their one of the indie promotions. There is a match between Hakim, Zane, and another person. I figured you and I could maybe check that out, so we can get a good idea of what he can actually bring to the table. I think the thing is that it was good. The reason why they had Ishimori face Hakim Zane instead of like a jobber was at least that Hakim Zane, I think, is talented enough to take what Ishimori dishes out.
I mean, he's not that bad, so you need to bring a jobber.
No.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I was a bit too harsh. I mean, Hakim, I'm saying, don't get me wrong. I mean, Hakim Zane is not bad, but when you just put him against Ishimori, he doesn't look as good. But I mean, obviously, we got to give him more chances. We got to see more, and like you say, I think we should go on the wrestling app later on and look on some matches he actually is in to get some more information.
I see here, if you go into the indie wrestling part of GWN and you look up and you see Super Kicked, it's a couple of you scroll down a little bit. There's Smash Wrestling, there's Rocky Mountain Pro, and then there's Super Kicked. There they have a match between Hakim Zane and Young Miles. I think that our homework should be to check that match out.
Yeah, sounds good.
And we'll talk about that next week. But anyway, we've talked. I think we've talked about Hakim Zane a little enough.
Enough
during one podcast. What happens is that after Ishimori wins with the 450 splash, he's attacked by Conley and Lee, furthering that storyline. And this week, coming on Thursday, we're going to see Caleb Conley versus Ishimori.
Oh, he fucked up. No, you're Caleb. I'm sorry, dude. You're gone. I'm just saying now, man. Let's see what happens next episode. But I'm just saying that Ishimori versus Caleb, Ishimori, he's on another level. But
yeah,
all right,
absolutely. We get an interview with James Storm. He's basically talking about being the cowboy. He's facing Tejano.
And he does it really good as well, man. I gotta give it to him. He does it really good. I love, it's just interesting to listen to him. That's great.
He does it for you.
Definitely.
Then we have LAX in the clubhouse, where they talk about Sami Callihan. And they talk about that they need to take care of OVE, that they want their titles back, how they're going to do it. And Homicide says that he is going to take care of Sami Callihan himself. Now that could be really interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, because Sami is really good. So
is Homicide.
No, I mean, sure, but fair.
I don't think.
Well,
I think it'll be because both Sami Callihan and Homicide are known for having pretty good brawls. Bringing it. So it could be very, very, very interesting.
We'll see.
We'll see. Nothing set yet when they're going to face or anything like that. It was just basically them talking. Then we actually get to see a match with Sami Callihan. We are going to Defy Wrestling, which is in Washington State, where Sami Callihan was facing Randy Myers. This filmed a little bit differently, actually, than we're used to. Guessing it was Defy Wrestling's own cameras or something like that. I don't know.
All right, I didn't think about that, but I mean, the actual match, it was some good ass action. I mean, good strength, but I mean, from both were good strength from both, but Sami just does it a little bit better, man. I'm sorry. It's they're not on the same level, man. I don't know. Myers is good, but he's a little bit too skinny, so he doesn't have that much muscles. I mean, he could work on that. I mean,
I definitely agree with that. I felt that I must say that I felt that he looked a little sickly. Randy Meyer, but maybe that's his deal.
Could be, yeah. We should not judge.
No. We never know. That might be his look. But it was a good match. I was impressed. Obviously, Sami Callihan won there. And, of course, they, Randy Myers is most likely a Defy wrestler. And you can't have Sami Callihan coming in and just, an outside wrestler just coming in and beating up what is maybe like a big star for Defy.
Yeah.
So that was nice back and forth. And, and that's going to be the issue when you go to, when Impact films or takes stuff from other promotions, because most likely the people that they face in those promotions are going to be people that are, known or big names for that promotion. So, so you don't want them to look bad. Just like when you bring in a wrestler, it's different when you bring in a wrestler that is a jobber. Because then you can just like job him out.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want with him. Just make him die and fail and whatnot. Yeah. Then we have Sammy wins with a powerful clothesline taking off the head of Randy Myers there. We have an interview with Alberto El Patron saying that Johnny Impact is a little boy, that he's going to destroy him. And he also claims that people watch Impact because of him. Which is true, but...
you do at least.
True. Yeah, I do at least. One guy. No, but I mean, it was an okay interview. You just, talking, just normal stuff.
Yeah. Cool. KM beating people up backstage.
I wrote KM playing GTA in real life.
Yes, and then asking if the ATT had seen what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, this was obviously for top team to see, right? Yeah. This was because they were like, maybe you're not that good, maybe you don't got the balls.
But he was just beating up just random people.
Yeah, some security guys, and this poor guy, who was that, like a cameraman?
I think so.
Oh, shit, yeah. So, people got beaten down, jumped by KM, and hopefully that makes, KM gets a better relationship with top team. Hopefully. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens with that. Then we have Tejano versus James Storm. This was a good match. I really liked it. I think that, overall, there were some really good matches this this time around. Not that they've been bad at all, because, now the people that they have there are good wrestlers.
Yeah. But it's just that it's a good match after each other. Yeah. And you're like shocked. This was a little bit of a throwaway match. They've had some rivalry and they've had some heat, but this was really only in order to get the next segment happening. Storm wins with the last call. It was a pretty hard-hitting match. They beat each other up pretty good. Once Storm kicks Tejano in the face, Lashley and ATT attack Storm, and then that injured guy... Your favorite guy. He's like, I've got this. My mother is watching.
That was the best line ever. My mom watches this program.
And he gets,
and then he got floored again by getting kicked in the face.
Oh my God, quality, man. That's some good stuff.
That just the little subtleties. That's fun. And Moose comes in with the save. Dan Lambert cuts a promo. He calls Impact Wrestling a circus. He challenges Storm and Moose and says that it's going to be Lashley tagging with the biggest heel in wrestling or in the world or whatever. And then he says, it's him. Dan Lambert,
Yeah.
and everybody else is just like, what? What are you talking about? Are you crazy?
You?
So it's going to be Dan Lambert and Lashley versus Storm and Moose.
Yeah, but he's old though. I mean, is this gonna work?
We've had old people wrestling before.
Yeah, but this guy is like old. He's like a typical American old. Like, I mean, he doesn't. I mean, I shouldn't judge. Yeah,
No, maybe not.
Just wait for the match. Just wait
for the match. Yeah, so that happens. We have a Pluto TV rewind. Rhino gores Abyss through a wall. That do anything for you?
I think that was awesome. And like, what's it called? Abyss is like dad. What's it called?
Oh yeah, his dad, James,
lawyer,
James Mitchell.
Oh yeah,
Father James Mitchell.
Like, yeah, he was just like standing there watching as well for some reason. But yeah, I mean, it was a good moment. That it wasn't really a real wall, but it was like this play whatever. But it was good action though. You know, yeah. It was cool.
Yeah. No, that was fun. I mean, the thing is that they seem to be pushing footage with Rhino quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. And I like that.
He's been on like every week, and he's in the WWE.
But I mean, I like him. He's a good wrestler. He's got the body and everything. So just keep on coming.
Yeah, keep on coming. We had a commercial, an old 80s style. You know, this is just fun because when I lived in the States, these are the kind of commercials that you see on TV. Like local commercials, like local. They still have that for Eagle Insurance and stuff like that. It's all funny. How did you like that? It was a commercial for Park and Park Attorneys at Law.
It's so bad. I mean,
and they introduced a new character.
Oh yeah, who's that? I don't know.
The nephew of Joseph Park, Chandler Park.
Yeah, so his name is also Park. So yeah, yes. Park, and Park.
And Park.
Oh yeah, and Park, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, they show some examples and how to get your insurance and whatnot, and they'll help you, lawyers. And, but I mean, it was so budget made, and it was awful. But at the end of the day, it's made so you will laugh. So
yeah, and the thing interesting here is that the guy who plays Chandler Park is the Canadian wrestler All Ego Ethan Page, he was a really good wrestler, and he's been around for a bit. He's had probably more of a breakout year this year, so this is actually probably quite nice for him to actually get some TV exposure at the end of a pretty good 2017. He takes the name Chandler because of a wrestling promoter by the name of Chandler Biggins, who passed away this year from complications with diabetes. Who ran a promotion called Absolute Intense Wrestling in Cleveland.
He's showing some respect.
Yes, so that was nice to see. You can you can listen to the exploits of Absolute Intense Wrestling by listening to the podcast, The Card is Going to Change, which is a really good podcast if you want to hear the ins and outs of an independent promotion. They also have an episode, and actually, what's interesting and actually kind of heartbreaking in that podcast is that you get to follow this year the time from when Chandler gets sick and is hospitalized, and the whole journey from him like being in the hospital and finally passing away, and how it affects the people around him and the company. But that's a side note. I would say that if you didn't already have homework for next week, this would have been your homework to look up Ethan Page, but I think we'll save that for next homework.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so very interesting to see. Next, did you have
Yeah, we have this, back in the days match.
Yes, the GWN moment of the week: Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe in their first real fight. At this time, Samoa Joe had been undefeated for like a year and a half.
Damn. Shit.
So, I'm interested to hear what you thought of this recap match: Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe.
I mean, we didn't get to see that much, but I mean, from what we saw, this match had some good hard hitting. The action was great. The audience was intense, as well as the commentator. He was like, the commentator was actually like screaming, and that gives the viewer like an intense feeling. And that was one of the best feelings I've got for a match.
Yeah, that was obviously Don West, who commentated at Slammiversary, I believe, when Josh Matthews and JB were wrestling each other.
That was, wow.
Yeah, he really got into things. Really got into things. But that's also, I think it's difficult to find, really. I mean, I don't have any problem with Josh Matthews or JB per se, but I don't feel the intensity in their voices. When you had the commentary team of Don West and Mike Tenay, who were on who were doing commentary here for this match, I mean, you could really feel. Mike Tenay was called the Professor just because he knew so much about wrestling, and Don West was just crazy. And it was a good combo. The thing is with JV and Josh Matthews, it's just kind of bland. It's just kind of there, you know.
I mean, they're funny and they're good, but they don't scream out loud. They're not intense. They're not that much into the match. Mm-hmm. And the feeling I got from this match, like, it's so intense. I've never really got that feeling from an Impact episode. So,
no.
It would be good if they could, it's hard to say, but it gives us as a viewer so much more when you get that intense feeling. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, that was cool. Obviously, Angle wins with the Angle Lock at the end. That's 2 episodes with the Angle Lock is applied. Yeah. It looked painful there.
Yeah, that's wrestling for you.
Yeah. Yes, that was classic. And Kurt was bleeding like a stuck pig.
Yeah, his face was not. It was red.
It wasn't so much of a face as it was blood.
But that's awesome as well, because when you see blood, it just makes the match even better. Perfect.
Anyway, we have an interview with Johnny Impact after that. He says that he thinks Patron is delusional, so he's going to take it to Patron. Obviously, less convincing. Yeah, I'm thinking Patron was more convincing in his promo than Impact is here.
I would agree. Impact is not too bad. Just, okay.
Yeah. Then we have Drake, who cuts a promo saying that he's going to watch the match coming up real close.
Yeah. And,
and then he meets Jimmy Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of look at each other and then they move on. Interesting. Interesting to see where this is going.
Yeah, because, I mean, Jimmy is a commentator, right? I mean, the guy who got...
We don't really know what his role is so far.
Oh yeah, because Eli was, like, looking at him really weird and then just walked off.
Yeah. So we don't know.
Interesting.
Interesting. Anyway, EC3 joins the commentary team. Mm-hmm. And then for the next match, which was Tyson Dukes versus Matt Sydal. How did you like this match?
I'm going to sound so bad, but Tyson is not bad, and he doesn't perform bad, but Sydal just does it better. I don't know.
Well, I think the unfair part here, and what I thought was a little bit unfair. I mean, Matt Sydal got a lot of offense in. Tyson Dukes got some offense in as well. But I mean, obviously, this isn't the Tyson Dukes that we saw defending the Smash Championship at Smash Wrestling, in the main event of Smash Wrestling against, I think, Jimmy Havoc, right? Is that what we saw?
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
It's not the same Tyson Dukes. He's not doing the same type of moves. He's not, and I mean, obviously, Matt Sydal was supposed to win this match. I mean, I think everybody knew that he was supposed to win this match. But it's the thing. You don't. I mean, it's not like how it was with Sami Callihan versus Randy Myers, where they were basically, you could feel like they were a little bit on the same level. And Tyson Dukes, for all that he has done in wrestling, even though he's very seldom been on the grand stage, I mean, he's an accomplished wrestler, and most people know that he's an accomplished wrestler.
So, I mean, this match was more of a downwards. I mean, because like you say, his performance has been a lot better than this. So.
Yeah. But anyway, this was for Matt Sydal. He did what they did. He did what he did. He won in the end with the shooting star press. And really, what it was supposed to do was, I think, also further the storyline between Sydal and EC3.
Oh yeah, because obviously you have EC3 sitting in the commentators. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he kept throwing shade on Sydal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Then we have the main event: Alberto El Patron versus Johnny Impact. How did you like this match?
I don't know where to start. I mean, it was an awesome match. Great action, just long enough. Many plots, fake counts, and Impact and Alberto, they work so good together, man. It's like they're made for. It's like they're made together. It's just so good. They just wrestle together. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, I don't know. It was even though it goes bad later on in the ending. I'm quite happy with this match.
Yes, it was a very good match. I saw before this. I saw a GIF of the spot where Alberto El Patron double stomped Impact through the stairs, where he fell and busted his shit. Because people were saying like, "Oh, what a fail!" We got to see that it happened during the commercial break, and people were just like, "Oh, what a dumbass trying to do that." But I mean, it was what it was. I'm sure he knew what he was doing. I'm sure he knew he wasn't going to be landing perfectly. So, I
mean, you gotta take some risks here and there, man. Not always you're gonna get 100%. I mean, we're all humans, geez. I mean, sometimes. You just measure wrong and whatnot. I mean, geez, people.
But did you see Impact's back? He was destroyed after that. He was such a mess. Blue and scraped and I don't know what. It was just so crazy.
But you also had I don't know if you have Alberto hitting his back on that metal staircase, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine that pain. Imagine that pain. But at the same time, like you say, we saw the back of Impact. Jesus. Whew. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it was crazy. It was a crazy fight. Patron hits a low blow after taking out the ref. Impact kicks out though. Eli Drake comes as I think it was Patron, or no, Johnny Impact was going to hit his finishing maneuver, or was it? No, it was Patron who was going to hit his finishing maneuver. He was going to stop Impact in the corner, but Drake comes out, stops that, and they take each other out. Patron takes Drake out, or if it's Drake that takes out, Patron takes out Drake. Yeah. Impact gets this opportunity to get the win. Everyone starts fighting, and then Petey Williams comes in and inserts himself into the fight as well.
And he was sneaky. He came from what, the back? What?
Yeah. I don't know. His music hit. Drake gets all confused, looking for him. He's coming from behind and hits the Canadian Destroyer on Eli Drake. And I don't know, where is this leading? Where are we going with this?
Where are we going with this?
I don't know.
We got so many wrestlers in the Impact Zone at the same time, so I don't know who's gonna be mad at who.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's so many wrestlers looking for the World Championship.
Oh, yeah.
And so what are they going to do? Is there going to be a four-way between all these guys, or is it going to be, what is going to happen? Who's going to win? I don't know.
So many questions.
None really answered.
But yeah, a four-way wouldn't be too bad.
No.
I mean, imagine that. That would be great. Oh.
Anyway, that was the end of that. I would give this, I would rate this show a B+.
I'll give it a B+.
Yeah, that's good. A lot of good stuff happening. A lot of things moving along. A lot of questions still to be answered, obviously. Yeah, that does it for another week and another Impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm satisfied. So I ain't gonna say anything, but because it's a B+, because there were some bits that were okay and whatnot, but I gotta give it to Impact that this episode was really good. The matches keep it coming like this.
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow us on all social media platforms. It's always in the show notes. You can also read my latest article about. I'm doing a 3-part series about the company Evolve. Last week, or the Saturday, it was about my relationship with the Evolve company, how I feel about it. I followed it since day one. We talked about that last week.
And you put it on Facebook, the Facebook page.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you read it?
You talking a bit about Evolve and whatnot. I'm not too familiar with Evolve, but I think I'm understanding. Yeah. It was interesting.
And on this Saturday, I will have a review up of the first ever Evolve show, and then the following week there will be a review up of the latest Evolve show, comparing the first show with the latest show with each other.
Smart. Cool.
So we'll see.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So that you can read that on sltdwrestling.com. Of course, that will be in the show notes as well. Don't forget to, and we talked about the Absolute Intense Wrestling, their podcast. The card is going to change. Check that out. It's a good podcast if you like, anything that has to do with the behind the scenes of an independent wrestling promotion. All successes and mishaps that you can have there. That's about it. So many things. Our homework was to check out Hakim Zane on the Global Wrestling Network. Well, for Nick Anderson, my name is Chris Mary Holtman, and we will see you next week.
Boom.
Boom. Okay, Nick.